had the preference.
You know, pre
Whitney
Monica,
before the
Whitney
crack.
Houston, yeah.
Right.
So where I
The
had
Browns,
women, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that light-skinned women aren't black. Like, I don't do that.
No.
But while we had light-skinned women like Faith Evans, no, we had Brandy.
Yeah,
and we
did.
had Monica.
Right.
And Monica's but I'm saying, but like, in as far as the color wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Monica was more here, but we had Brandy.
I thought you were talking about talent.
No.
Wait,
Whoa.
I love me some Monica now.
Girl, first of all, that
There should have been, honestly, I wanted to hear some Monica Brandy beef tracks back in the day.
I always
wanted to hear that
when me and my friends was like, we gonna do The Boy Is Mine, I always was like, can I be Monica?
Hey, that was the closest thing.
But you felt like Brandy wasn't ready for that shit yet.
No, she won, but whatever.
She's like, you know what? I'm focusing on Moesha. Fuck y'all. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, she was making more.
She was making that bread. Moesha was my shit.
She was making more than Monica.
Yeah, Moesha was my
Anywho,
shit.
like, while we had like a Faith Evans and while we had Monica, we also had Brandy and we had Whitney Houston and we had Lil' Kim. So everything, Foxy Brown, like we had the color, it was fine. Then as I started getting older, I realized like there's Sierra, who is black, but doesn't look like me. Like not fully anyway. There's
brownish,
but she's
like that burnt caramel color.
Yeah.
You know, but she's not chocolate.
All right.
You had the Keisha Coles.
I had the Keisha Cole again. You're black, but you don't look like me fully.
Right.
Beyonce, who I'm Bayhive all day.
That's fine.
But again,
Kelly Rowland all day though.
Yeah, and again, exactly like
Kelly. I've always wanted Kelly.
Kelly Rowland, guys. If you never listen to anything or you want to believe how talented Kelly Rowland is,
girl,
go listen to "Come Back" by Kelly Rowland. And you'll thank me later.
Kelly, you've always been my motivation.
Kelly's the best.
Like, not just motivation, though, but that was cute.
Always been.
That was cute. That was like motivation.
I will tell you this right now.
I feel like my queen is black.
No, I didn't say she's not black.
No,
absolutely. Understand what I'm saying. We're going to get there.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that Beyonce's not black. Beyonce made a whole... Formation is going to be my graduation.
Would never. Lemonade had so much, like, African spiritualism and, like, all of that stuff through... No,
she had, like... The thing I love about her is she had black dancers. She had all of that.
I love that.
And when her father has... Because her father said...
We're going to get there. Because you have to understand what I'm saying. We're not saying that these artists aren't black.
No, absolutely.
Because I feel like that's another thing. Like
we just talking about the color wheel.
Yeah.
How far are you to the left?
Yeah. So anywho,
paper bag.
Like, but I will tell people again one more time. "Come Back" by Kelly Rowland. You're welcome. So anywho, you're welcome. I promise you, you're welcome. So anywho, but now as I got older, I was like, okay, Sierra, Beyonce, Keisha Cole, Rihanna. All of these girls fit this side of the color wheel, but not like and then all the people that fit our side of the color wheel would kind of get there, but then they fall off. Kelly Rowland got their fall off. Remember Jasmine Sullivan?
I was about to say Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, damn, what happened to her, yo?
No, Jasmine's coming back though.
But she's coming back again. It's like
I fuck with Jasmine.
She's coming back.
But she fell off, and it's like
Mary J was holding down a long ass time though.
But Mary J also
no. Jasmine Sullivan fell off for a purpose. Like she took that break. But also partially because of the weight thing, but she took it
Jennifer Hudson.
But Jennifer Hudson, while she's big in movies,
right?
Music wise, because she was doing music for a while,
right?
And it was like she could not, break through.
And Mary always takes her break when she's happy. Mary was happy for a good minute. And then whenever her and her husband got through whatever, that's whenever the good Mary came back.
Oh, yo, hold on, no.
Keisha Cole.
Hold on, before we go forward, I just want to shout out the husband. One of the few out there that managed to finagle the system to make the opposite happen.
We're not talking about that.
He has to get paid alimony.
So anyway, let me finish up the Tory Lanez.
Go ahead.
Get back. So Tory Lanez pretty much was saying that he was fighting for this dark skinned model who, if you guys ever see her, she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. She's gorgeous. Like she has the most beautiful skin I've ever seen. Like she's just like
Tika Sumpter.
Yeah, like girl, she's gorgeous. Face, like she's just beautiful. Like I don't even want to sit there and like be like, because I hate when people say, "Oh, your skin's so beautiful." I'm like, no, fuck you.
Yeah,
she is beautiful.
Right, absolutely.
So that model ends up calling Tory Lanez out. So a lot of people on like Instagram and Facebook, they were like praising him, like, "Oh my God, thank you for like sticking up for us." Exactly. So this model, I guess, kind of finally got tired of the fact that he was taking credit for something he didn't do. So she comes out and she's like, "No, he didn't do anything." Come to find out, she says that Tory Lanez, because it was two models, her and a really, really racially ambiguous light skinned model. Come to find out that Tory Lanez, after seeing her in the shot, was the one that called the light skinned girl in the shot. The reason that the dark skinned girl was in it was not because of Tory Lanez, but because of the director that Tory Lanez was saying was kicking the dark skinned girl out.
Oh, so he wanted to take credit.
But he didn't do it. The director, who is white, by the way. Ooh. The director is the reason she was in it.
Wowzers.
The director and her were friends, and the director was like, hey, come be in the video. Tory Lanez wanted the light girl in the video, and the director kept the dark skinned girl in. Like, Tory Lanez didn't kick her out.
Right.
But Tory Lanez did bring in that light skinned one.
Right.
So the director's the reason she got to stay.
That's disgusting.
You know what?
I'm not shocked.
I will say this, though, because I was actually listening to this, because as y'all know, I'm a big basketball fan. It's probably my favorite sport of all time, then football. Shout out Eagles winning the title this year. Knicks, figure that shit out. But I will say this. There was a documentary that not even a documentary. They was having a show, and they had like all the NBA legends, and it was kind of talking about shit like, you know, the next wave. So you got to think about it like this. With that whole like ambiguous thing, back in the day, it was a bunch of dark-skinned brothers that would make it to the league, become famous, and that's what we saw. Those dark-skinned brothers, they ended up mixing in with white women and creating a whole batch of light-skinned babies. So this next generation that came in and they created Steph Curry's. So what I'm saying is, but this next generation that came in, like, they're expecting that, because between those, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they made some beautiful children. Like, if black and white would really put our beef away from each other, we make some beautiful children.
I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm not gonna touch that one, but
look, this whole, like, your whole feeling about it. But at the end of the day, I do feel like they are beautiful. I'm not saying
I
don't feel like they're more beautiful than others.
Steph Curry's still black though, right?
And the thing is, but you know what's hilarious about the Steph Curry thing?
He's Haitian.
A lot of his mom's Haitian.
Don't say that. My man is gonna be.
But my thing is, look, his mom is Haitian.
Yeah. No.
But the thing, and what kills me is the mother. Yeah. His mom, who you would never, she tells you she's black. There was actually a white lady that went on Steph Curry's sister's Twitter, and Steph Curry's sister came out and said, well, one thing that annoys all of them is when people are like, well, what are you? And she's like, I'm black. Yeah. And they're like, but with what? Oh, with black. Like, I remember a white woman went on her thing and she's like, what do you guys mix with? Yeah. Oh, she was like, oh, thank you for asking that question. Black with black.
Right.
Yeah.
And she just was like, and this is why, like, I try very hard not to get at light-skinned people, because I'm not light enough to be told, what are you? So I imagine when you are black and you have to hear people like my mom. You saw my mom. Yeah. My mom has green eyes. Yeah. And is super light. Yeah. And she literally goes, and my mom would get mad because people come up to her and speak Spanish. Or people come up to her and be like, well, what are you? And my mom will literally go and say, I'm black till my heart is black. Because my mom will always say she feels like she has to prove she's black.
Which is the worst thing, because there's like so many African tribes or just tribes all over the place. Blonde, they got blue eyes, everything. Like, genetically, we're just amazing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, like, look, we came from that generation where dark-skinned brothers was running it. And then we even have this joke amongst ourselves in the culture, light skins are making a comeback. Low key, I mean, we got the Drakes of the world, we got the Chris Brown, Steph Curry done changed the NBA as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just the FYI, guys, if you didn't listen to Indigo, you're welcome.
I'm still running through the album.
It's amazing. I played it 4 times for like, go ahead. That's
I'm not a Chris Brown fan, so
I love it. It's amazing.
I like 4 songs. All right, so
I literally only dislike 1 song.
I just feel like what's wrong with us. And that's what scares me the most, because...
And I can understand.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I think, like I said, like, with that whole mix that happened, like, okay, so this new generation, they're gonna obviously be lighter, because that old generation was blacks that made famous, mixed in with white women, and of course, that's gonna make a bunch of ambiguous light-skinned babies. Like, Blake Griffin, his dad is black, but him and his brother, you couldn't tell. They look like
you knew Blake was black.
You know
Blake has black in him.
I knew he was black in him, but he looked like a ginger.
He is a ginger though. But that's
exactly.
I
don't trust. Ginger, live your life.
But
what I'm saying is like, so this whole generation of newbies have come in. So now it's the ideology that if you don't look like that, then you're off. You're not like with the times, and the times are saying that light skin is in. But this whole thing is those light skinned women, they get with extremely dark skinned brothers, and we start bringing a comeback of the brown. The brown skin stay within brown. Like, I think between generations, it's gonna flip over and over just off preference, because these famous people, they have different ideologies than you and me. It's just regular. It's like, yo, I'm just enjoying life as a whole, not trying to focus on exactly what race I'm messing with. I mess with Asians, whites, Pakistani, like Indians before. They're awesome. But at the same time, I knew at the end of the day what I wanted to end up settling with. These entertainers that are going out, they feel like
by
they have more.
Settling.
What?
By settling.
Thank you. I'm so
Like,
Oh, I'm not
glad.
settling.
Because you
No,
said
I wanted the reading rainbow.
Because faithful as his option.
Yes.
So
That's what,
understand this.
Yeah.
Maybe not settle. Maybe settling
Isn't
down
the right
with.
word. Yes.
Oh.
That would be better.
Yeah,
rather
okay.
than
I mean, if
settling.
that's how you feel, me personally, and the conversations that I have with my fellows that are of the same generation as me, like, it was never that. Like, whoever we settled down with was who we settled down with, whoever I had the best connection with. By the end of the day, I knew for a fact that when I was coming up, I wanted to test the reading rainbow. I wanted this. Like, there was at one point, me and my boys would look at a map of the entire world, and we would say, I messed with a girl from that country, that country, that country. I would like that country, and we would go from there. That's what we did. We were great networkers. We can find these countries. All right, like, and you went to Horn Dog High with me. It was a freaking plethora. It was the United Nations in one. So you had all the opportunity to literally go from Ukraine to Turkey to every single little country in
the
Russia.
cool thing was being a black girl that had the passport, so you would go from like one to the other.
Mm.
So anywho, now I hear that, and I'm going to tell you right now. While I'm not calling what you are talking about bullshit, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you from a girl's perspective.
Okay.
How it went for me. I went to my college, University of New Haven, hoot hoot. And yeah.
You were in Connecticut too?
Yeah, I was in New Haven. So
30 minutes, yo. 30
Wow.
minutes. I know, right?
and yet I never went to visit y'all. What? Like not till the end, but anyway, that's not the point. Listen,
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you was going by that.
I was.
yeah. So
I'm old.
this is how my introduction into the world of this happened. Because I had grown up in Brooklyn, where colorism for me really wasn't super prevalent. Like it was like, you know, black guys, whatever. Like, you know, you dated. When I went to UNH, I remember specifically I'm going and I'm seeing all these black guys. I'm seeing guys that look like me. And I went to the basketball game to our school. Now our basketball team was, I don't know how it is now at UNH, so don't kill me. When I was there, it was trash. The basketball team was trash. So,
If I don't make a bracket for you, I just assume you.
no, I mean, it was trash. Like I
you
love,
know what March is.
I love enough sports to know that we were trash. So I met a couple of the basketball players, and you know, I would talk to them. Because I know enough about. I don't know everything, but I know enough about the game, and we could dialogue. So they'd be like, "Oh no, you mad chill, you mad chill." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." But then you would constantly see the basketball players, black as midnight, or come from the hood, or whatever. They would either go for light skin, Hispanics, or whites. They would never ever, except for no, it's my story.
I know. I was raising my hand.
They would never ever touch any of the black girls. Or if they did, it would just be for like a night, and then they would go off. Or I remember this one basketball player who was super cute. He was dating a black girl. Everything was an issue. Like he complained about everything. And like, mind you, we're in college. She went to the club too much. She would only go on a Thursday because it was Thirsty Thursday. She was studying too much. Well, we're in school. What the fuck?
Right.
She didn't spend enough time with him. She yelled too much. Like all the stuff that black men say to white women to make it sound like they're better, which annoys me about black men. Certain black men that literally sit there and will put down a black girl to make a white girl feel better about herself. Fuck you. Yeah. Just tell her you want to be with her. Right. There's no need to put us down to make her feel better about herself. She's white. She didn't need you.
No.
She rules the fucking world anyway.
As it is.
She didn't need you to tell her that she was better than us.
Right.
So like you doing that just validated her fucking ego. But anywho,
Woosah.
Felt like something ridiculous.
What I
will say is that though, like one, I will say, as you said, these are brothers that's coming from the hood, and let's be honest, the hood, in general, you will see a certain population that is not as open as the channels they are now have access to. Can we agree to that at least?
I can agree to that.
Okay, so what I will say is it's not 100% that we just like because I've had the same conversation with these dudes. These dudes is cool, and play a little ball with them, whatever. But like, it's not 100% that it's just they're putting down the black woman. It's just like I said.
But they were.
It's given the opportunity to test the rainbow. Like, there's a whole plethora of women of different background, race, culture, and for a lot of dudes that I speak to anyway, like, our main focus is, especially when we're just kind of testing the waters, is just finding and realizing, one, what we like, two, testing the waters, three, I can almost get an idea of your culture by messing with your women.
So let me throw this one at you.
Okay.
Remember that guy I was telling you was complaining about the black girl doing all this shit?
Yep.
Same black guy dated a white girl.
Yep.
A set. When I say she was embarrassing him, when I say I remember the same guy who complained about his girlfriend getting mad and yelling at him in the dorm, in private.
In private. Okay.
He would literally come on and be like, fuck her. This white girl, I remember he came in from the club and she was in a quad.
Oh my
She
God.
embarrassed that motherfucker in the quad.
In his defense, could have been the coach's daughter. You gotta keep peace.
No,
All right,
I knew she was. She was a nobody. And you know what he did? You know he legitimately said sorry to her in front of everyone? The same guy that complained about a black girl yelling at him in a room in private and made that whole shit public. He literally was like, baby, I'm so sorry. In the middle of the quad. I remember I lost all respect for him.
Also,
if it makes you feel any better, we complain about women in general.
All right, but no, he thought house mistress rules was still in. He was over here.
Okay, look.
Man,
I'm not
I was sorry.
Again,
No.
I've been telling you for the longest,
No.
black men don't cheat. I can only speak for black men.
All right,
black boys are 100% different.
He didn't cheat.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
that.
is black boys is a whole different. I can't follow their
You
philosophy.
understand what I'm saying right now?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and you can't sit here and tell me. I'm sorry. I have to go off real quick on a tangent, and then we're gonna bring it back. You can't sit here and tell me black men don't cheat when I just told you the story about my whole situation. Like, you can't.
That was a black boy.
That was a black boy. I can't control.
Oh,
him.
so you're talking about men versus boys?
Yes.
Oh, that's cute. Go ahead.
That's different. Alright, so I will say, so we're talking about all this race shit, but at the end of the day, you ever dated a dude over his body? Like, because I seen an article the other day, dad bods is in. Fellas, we don't have to get the six-pack no more. The keg is fine. The only six-pack we need is Corona and Bud Light. You know what I'm saying?
So
we get some IPAs in this bitch. So, now I have a question for you. Like,
IPA.
it's not misogyny.
It is.
Look, it's not misogyny.
So misogyny.
Dad bods are in. Like,
for men.
you just have to get used to it. You can be a little soft, and some dudes, they can have a little bit of, the tummy over the belly. A little fat. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, you can take this.
All right, first.
How do y'all feel about that?
Here's the thing. There are a bunch of different types of men in the world. Some of them are like muscular, but also like kind of chunky. Like, that happens as a thing.
Word. I'm skinny fat. I know that.
There you go. As long as you admit it. The fact of the matter is, I have issues because, like, dad bods are in. That's cool. But if I were to wear some mom